Section 8. Engineers are often entrusted with the responsibility of implementing large-scale projects involving millions of ringgits. In terms of the large amount of money changing hands, the integrity and ethical standards of engineers are being put to test. What measures can an engineer take to prevent corruptions and unethical practice of cutting corners in order to safeguard the good image of engineering professions? Let us study the scenario first. Engineers are entrusted with the responsibility. It is related to large-scale projects involving millions of ringgit. And this is very huge sum of amount in comparison to their specific pay grade. And next is about the integrity and the ethical standards. The task now is what are the measures to be taken in order to prevent the corruptions and unethical practice, and how to safeguard good image of the professions. This could be some scopes that you have to establish during your discussions. What kind of responsibility are the engineers being entrusted with? How significant and how important is it with the responsibility and the authority? And how it puts integrity and ethical issue into the test. And next, why we need to prevent and how to prevent. To prevent, we can prevent through the educations, where the code of ethics are to be made aware to all the engineering graduates and the engineers, through the university and also through the professional engineer assessment. And this kind of awareness need to be internalized, not just at the level of awareness. It should also elevate further for the level of conform, value, as well as the commitment and also internalizations, and make it a good behavior that is influential to the others. Next, we could also establish the systematic system to facilitate check and for the tracing purpose. This can be done by having the third party to cross-check the design, justifications of decisions to regulate the process. The local authorities normally keeps the records of the design and the design report. It eventually becomes the evidence upon non-compliant case. And also the system can also ensure that the decisions is made through a team of committee which constitute the member without any conflict of interest, to have work audit and checker, to also establish guidelines of the responsibility, duty or procedures to discharge by an engineer, and to have systematic and transparent guidelines for the local authorities to check, especially on the acceptance criteria for the testing commissionings before handing over of the project. All the information document is to be accessible by the right parties, and also they should be always have some check and balance to avoid misuse of the power. It could also go for the law and enforcement, which include the anti-corruption agency, the mechanisms of law of enforcement, which include the whistleblower penalty law and enforcement, expeditious disciplinary actions, zero tolerance to the corruptions. And on top of that, there can be a system to establish the continuous improvement, encourage engineers to increase their competency, the local authorities to review and improve the law and enforcement from time to time, and also to increase the standard and thoroughness of the professional interview assessment. make sure the latest technologies such as information technologies are being fully utilized to improve the efficiency of law and enforcement and also to create awareness among the engineers.